Okay, hello everybody, welcome
Hello again.
this morning or this evening, wherever you are. It's going to be an interesting class. Let's hope you get a range of different cultures. What we are going to be doing is taking a look at a website called everyculture.com, reading a little bit about what it says about us, and then presenting a little thing to the class from your opinion. You're a person from this particular culture. Do you agree with what it says on the website? And what more can you tell us? What can you add? What do you disagree with, perhaps? And what's it like? What is your culture all about? So it's going to be an interesting class. Mostly speaking today. Do follow along with us on Google Plus or YouTube if you'd like to join in, finding about lots of different places around the world from the perspectives of the people who come from those places. Just before we get started, we'll wait for our students to come into class, and I'll share a couple of pages with you. If you have a look at the chat box, you'll see that there are two pages there. The first is my Facebook page, which you can go to. It's just a regular old Facebook page, but it's a really good way of keeping in touch with being teachers, making comments on classes, seeing what's coming up, maybe sharing some resources, and checking out what I post. If you do want some more concrete information about classes, tutoring sessions, teachers, schedules, and all of that kind of stuff, then do check out the Verbling teacher page of your teacher. You will find all sorts of useful information there, so do explore that if you have some time. We're going to say hi to our students and find out which countries and cultures we're going to be talking about this lesson. So I'm going to type these into the chat box as we say hello. So we'll start from the other end today, because poor Yuki always gets to go last. So Yuki, you're up first.
Yes,
Welcome back. Nice to see you again.
nice to see you again.
All right, so Yuki, can you tell us a little bit about you? All I really want to know is, which culture do you feel that you belong to? Where are you from? And maybe other cultures that you've experienced in your life.
Yes, maybe many students know about me. I'm from Japan originally, but currently I live in Russia. I
Mhm.
in Moscow. I have been here for a long time,
Mhm.
and I'm in the position that where I can feel great gap, cultural gap,
Mhm.
of habit, tradition, people's point of view between Japan and Russia.
Okay, very interesting. And I think they must be quite, I don't know, diverse, different, very different cultures. That
Yes,
must be right, yeah?
yes, yes. They varies from countries. They varies very much. So it's very diverse.
Mhm.
How to
All
say?
right, absolutely. That's great. So, what I would like to do basically is to decide, guys, which culture you would like to talk about. And I prefer it if you go with the one that you feel that you belong to most, okay? That you have the most experience with. I know that some of us do have more than one. So, Yuki, would you prefer to talk about Japanese or Russian culture? Do you feel more
Uh,
Japanese?
which one would you like? Would you like to me talk about?
I think maybe Japanese, because I don't think we have another
Okay.
Japanese student, if that works for
I,
you.
maybe Andre after we'll talk about Russian culture
Yes,
precisely.
exactly. All right. So take it from, I'm going to write you down as Japanese, Yuki. Is that all right?
Yes,
Wonderful.
Japanese culture. What kind of culture do you want to me to explain?
I will tell you in due course. Just hold on. I'll explain the rest of the class in a moment, okay? We're just going to say hi to everyone first.
Okay,
All
okay.
right. Second, we have Tom John. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Nice to meet you. Can I call you Tom John or Tom John?
The way that you prefer.
All right, I'll call you Tom because one name is easier for me to remember, okay?
Yeah.
All right, Tom, tell us, where are you from? Which culture do you think you belong to?
I'm from Brazil and I live in São Paulo, Brazil, and I know just my own culture,
Excellent, that's great.
Brazilian
Um,
culture.
I've typed you in the chat box Brazilian culture. All right, awesome. Have you ever lived in another place in Brazil, or have you always lived in São Paulo?
No, I have always lived in São Paulo.
All right. And I think just from my perspective, Brazil seems like quite a diverse country. Would you say there's more than one type of Brazilian culture?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Brazil's quite a large country and quite diverse, I think. Do you
Yeah.
think that there's different types of Brazilian culture? Maybe the city
Yeah,
culture? Yeah?
yeah. Because as you said, Brazil is a very big country, and for example, the big cities there are a kind of culture, and in the countryside there are a lot of different kind of cultures. Like for example, in Bahia, Bahia there are a lot of African descendants. Then the African culture is very large there.
All right. Thank you. Well, you can just feel free to talk about your culture from your own perspective, okay, Tom?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
All right, let's see what Juan has to say. Welcome back, Juan.
Hello again.
Hello. Please would you introduce yourself? I know that some of us already know each other, guys, but just for the benefit of everybody out there who's watching, tell us, where are you from, Juan? Which culture do you belong to?
I'm from three nationalities. My grandparents was Spanish citizen. My parents is Argentinian citizens, and I was born in Ecuador, South America.
Ecuador.
Okay. I'm living in Spain during 15 years ago, and I'm living in England at the moment. Okay.
Wow, what a diverse person you are, Juan.
Yeah.
All right.
I belong now I belong at multicultural.
You are a multicultural person.
Multicultural person. Yeah.
All right. You're very welcome to choose. Which of those cultures would you like to talk about today? You need to choose one, because otherwise we won't have time. Okay, so whichever you prefer.
I think my culture is Latin American culture.
All right.
Okay. All right. And I think this Andina culture.
All right.
Okay. This is the region for 5 countries: Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Bolivia, and Ecuador. Okay.
Wow. All right. That's awesome. Thank you, Juan. I'm putting that into the chat box. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome, John. Hello. Welcome back.
Hello.
Tell us about yourself. Where are you from? Which culture do you feel you belong to?
Well, I'm from Brazil, and as Tom said before, there's a lot of subcultures here in Brazil. Well, I don't feel that I belong to the stereotype of Brazil, samba, carnaval, and football. I do not like these kind of things. But I feel that I belong to the southern culture. There is a little bit different, and well, yeah, you just found this culture in the south of Brazil.
All right. So can I put South Brazilian culture?
Yeah.
Right. It's just a generalization, and obviously we're all very different, but I think if we try and define it, it's easier for the other students to sort of think about where you come from. So welcome, John, and thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Dennis, who are you?
I'm just great. Um, I guess,
Not how, who.
okay. Sorry, I misunderstood.
No problem.
I'm from Russia, and I think I belong to the Russian culture because I lived here all my life. So basically, I don't know what's it like there. So other culture, and it shaped my mentality. I mean, the place where I lived, it created my mindset. So
Absolutely, I think that's true of all of us. So I'm going to put Russian culture. Is that okay?
yeah, that's
Cool.
okay.
All right, you'll have a chance to explain more about it as we go, guys, but we're just giving a bit of a summary at the moment. So, Christian, hello.
Hello,
Nice to see you again. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. All right, well, tell us, Christian, about you
Well,
and your culture.
I am from Colombia.
Mhm.
I have lived across the country in really almost all of Colombia, living in the Caribbean coast of Colombia, in Bogota, that is in the Andes part of Colombia, in Medellin.
Mm-hmm.
And currently I live in the northeast of Colombia.
Okay.
Although I don't identify myself as someone that is the stereotype of a Colombian, I could talk about the Colombian culture.
Perfect. So I'm going to put Colombian culture. Brilliant. We're getting a really good range today, which is wonderful. So thank you, Christian.
You're welcome.
All right. Andre, tell us about you.
As you know, I'm Russian, so I will help Dennis with Russian culture.
Perfect. All right. So don't worry if you've got somebody who's talking about the same culture. I think definitely different perspective is just as valuable. So that's really good. We're going to have two perspectives on Russian culture and two perspectives on Brazil. So that's going to be great. So nice to have you back, Anjay. And
Thank you.
Ahmed. Hello.
Hello, I am from Saudi Arabia. As you know, we are more religious, and we have our music, we have our dishes, cooking, and we have a lot of accents here in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's
Also,
very interesting. Have you ever lived anywhere else, Ahmed?
no, I never been outside Saudi Arabia.
All right, so you're going to talk about Saudi Arabian culture. And as you mentioned, I think this is one that's heavily influenced by religion, so that makes it especially interesting, or perhaps a little bit different in some ways. All right, so we've got everybody here. Ismail was here, he's disappeared. Maybe he'll come back and talk to us about Turkey. But if not, we've got a lot to learn today, so let me just explain a bit about what we're going to do, guys. There's a website which you are welcome to use to look up your culture. To be honest, I think it's quite fun to do this. It's really fun reading about what other people or somebody's written about your culture. The website is there, everyculture.com. So I'm going to give you about just under 10 minutes, not too long, because we want to spend the time we have in discussing it. So what I would like you to do is to maybe look up your culture on everyculture.com. If you can't find it, see if you can look up the country, one of the countries that you're from, and just see what it says. Just scan it over, maybe make some notes, and really I want you to present a little thing about your culture to the class. So culture is a big word, right? It includes a lot of different things. You're welcome to talk about whatever you feel is the most significant, the most important, maybe the most interesting, something that makes you unique, perhaps. What makes you different from other cultures, especially if your language is the same as other countries, what distinguishes your culture? Maybe something that if I was a tourist and wanted to go to your country, I should definitely experience something interesting, exciting, whatever you like. So check out everyculture.com if you need some inspiration, or you might just want to think about it yourself. What do you think your culture is all about? So I'm going to give you just under 10 minutes. It's 1/4 past the hour now, so just before 25 past. If you have any questions or you want to talk, let me know. But I'm just going to put something up on the screen to let the viewers know what we're doing. And other than that, off you go. I will see you in about 8 minutes' time, guys. Just a few more minutes, guys. Hello, Julio.
Hello.
Welcome to the class. Nice to see you.
I'm sorry for being late.
That's all right. Let me just bring you up to date, okay? What we've been doing is basically just deciding about a culture that we're going to talk about, which is the one that we feel that we most belong to. We're using the website everyculture.com for a bit of inspiration, and we're going to make a really short little presentation about our culture to the rest of the class in a couple of minutes, okay?
All right, I'm looking forward to hearing all you guys talking about your cultures.
Excellent. Would you like to present your culture to us as well, Julio?
Yes, it'll be my pleasure.
All right. Which culture would you like to talk about? I believe that you're from Mexico, right? No?
Yes.
So do you
I
feel
think
that
I want to talk about Mexican culture.
All right, perfect. Just some of us have a couple of different cultures that are possibility, so I just wanted to double check. But I've put you there in the chat box, and I'll come to you sort of near the end just to give you a little bit more time, okay?
Thank you.
All right, no worries. All right, for the rest of you, you've got about 2 more minutes, so quickly make some more notes or decide whatever you're going to say, and we're going to start presenting with Yuki.
Okay. Japan have diverse
Right,
cultures.
Just a sec. I'm sorry, I just wanted to warn you that you're going to go first, but I will give you another minute or two, okay? All right. Time is just about up, guys. So if you would like to come back and join us, we're going to start off with Yuki. Sorry to make you jump right in there, Yuki. Whenever you're ready, tell us all about Japanese culture. What would you like us to know?
No, Japan has a diverse culture, so I don't know what culture I choose from them. But maybe many people all over the world, especially young people, have a strong interest in Japanese anime and manga. So maybe I'll talk about history of Japanese art, maybe.
That sounds wonderful. Off you go.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll. So Japanese art is a very close relationship. How to say, Japanese art have a strong interaction. There are strong interaction between Japanese and European art. One of example is no. You know well Japanese manga, yeah?
I am aware of it. Tell me a little bit about it, Yuki. You must know.
Manga is one kind of art, but it is more likely to resemble to the novel. But all the stories depict on the paper as a picture, so you can follow the story, reading. Can you see my picture? Okay. Reading the text, and at the same time you can follow the drama, seeing pictures. Yeah. So Ajin's specialty of Japanese manga is it is written From right to you have to read from right to left.
Okay.
So it is a guide start, and you have to read from up to down and to right to left. Yeah.
All right.
So many Japanese manga dialogue is written vertically. So you have to, if you understand Japanese, you have to read from top to down. Origin of manga is very. Manga has a very long history. Already in 30 or 40 years, there is a art. Such a this is called Choju Giga. It is depicted on the paper door in the maybe 14th centuries. It is called the. They say that it is the origin of manga. After there appears the culture of ukiyo-e. Have you heard about ukiyo-e?
No.
No, ukiyo-e is a very specific Japanese art. There are many fans all over the world. Specific feature of ukiyo-e is a very simple line and strong contraction of various colors. And the dramatic scene is described on one picture. It's the print. So so they can make a lot of examples, copies, and people. It is a picture not for museum, not for gallery. People then in the time of Edo period, it is from 17th century until 19th century. Japan has a closed country, so trade with other country was banned. So in this time, for 250 years, Japan was closed country. But in this time, special culture have been developed. One of these culture is this type of art, ukiyo-e. There is a ukiyo-e portrait. Yeah.
Yep.
Many of portrait. This horror picture. Sorry, I'm sorry.
That's all right, Yuki. You're gonna have to finish off because we won't have time for everybody.
Okay, so just a minute. My favorite ukiyo-e picture is this one. Hiroshige's picture. You can see the big wave on the front, yeah. On the back, you can see the Mount Fuji, yeah. So such a dynamic, such a dynamic design is a very specific for ukiyo-e. Such a tradition is now continues to contemporary manga.
All right, Yuki, that was fascinating. Thank you. And beautifully presented. I really learned a lot from that. Thank you very much. What I would like to do, guys, is to set up a little bit of a question and answer thing in the chat box. So if there's something that one of the students has talked about and you want to ask them about it, ask in the chat box. So if you could keep your eye on the chat box, Yuki, and just make sure you put the student's name, okay? So if you have a question for Yuki, just type Yuki, blah, 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 and then Yuki, if you could keep your eye on it and answer. Then we can keep it going while we're presenting the other students. All right, thanks a lot, Yuki. That was lovely. We're going to go to Tom, and he's got. You guys have got about 3 minutes to talk. Okay, so Tom, could you tell us about Brazilian culture in 3 minutes? Off you go.
Okay. In Brazil there are a lot of cultures. Brazil is a multicultural country because there are a lot of different people from the different parts of the world. For example, in São Paulo you can find the community, Japanese community, Chinese, Korean, Italian, African. There are a lot of kind of people, and you can, if you want to eat, for example, Japanese food, you can eat. If you want to eat Chinese food, or you can eat a lot of kind of food from everywhere in São Paulo.
Okay.
And Brazilian people loves parties. One of the biggest parties in the world is the Brazilian Carnival, and a lot of people from everywhere in the world come here to watch the carnival, to participate. And Brazilian people loves sports too. The main sport that Brazilian people likes here is soccer, is football, and the Brazilian team is one of the best teams in the world. We have 5 World Cups. And one of the most famous soccer player is Pelé. I think a lot of people knows that, and we love car racing too. Mainly Formula 1. The most famous race driver. Brazilian race driver is Ayrton Senna. I don't know if everything knows, but he's very famous race driver. And Brazil is a very beautiful place. People are very receptive. I don't know if I'm right.
Absolutely.
And there are a lot of cultures here. It's a very interesting country.
All right, thank you, Tom. That was perfect. I'm going to go straight to John and give him 3 minutes to see what he would like to add, maybe disagree with or agree with you. So, John, tell us, what do you think about Brazil, and was Tom right?
Well, I agree with all that Tom said. It's the Brazil stereotype is that carnival, football, and race and sports. But there is some, I don't know if it's correct to say, subcultures.
Yep.
Or region cultures. Well, like there is the South have a very strong culture on culture. In the Northeast, there is also a strong culture. But, well, I'm going to speak about the South culture. Well, here we call ourselves of Gaúchos instead of Brazilians. We are like Scotland of Brazil.
Okay.
Because most of us want to separate our state from the Brazil, but it will never happen. Okay. So what differs in the culture of South Brazil is that we have more European. Actually, we have more German and Italian immigrants here in the South. So it's made a strong difference between the rest of Brazil. And well, we have Oktoberfests here as in Germany, and well, I was about to show some pictures of how the gauchos are.
All right, we would love to see them. You've got 1 minute to show us, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead. Share your screen.
Are you guys seeing?
Wow! Is that traditional costume?
Yeah, this is the traditional gauchos. And yeah, they are like that. And this drink they are drinking here, we call chimarrão. It's like green tea, but with a lot of herbs.
All right. John, that's absolutely fascinating. Thank you. As before, with Tom and John, as well as Yuki, if you guys have any more questions, go and ask in the chat box, all right? I want to try and be as fair as possible. Thank you to Brazilians for sharing. That was really, really interesting. I'm learning so much today. Okay, so Juan, it's your turn. Off you go. You got 3 minutes. Are you there? Juan? No? All right, Dennis, we're going to skip to you.
Okay. I suppose it's about Russia, right? And as a famous Russian poet said, Russia cannot be understood with the mind alone. I think that if you want to understand our culture, if you want to get the flavor of Russia, you have to come here and just live for a while. And maybe you will like it or not. That's a different question.
Yes.
And what I like to say that in general, Russian men are very chivalrous. Yeah. I mean, we
Serious?
of our seats.
Did you say?
I don't know how to pronounce it. Chivalrous.
Oh, chivalrous. All right, chivalrous. That's a much more interesting word. Okay, explain.
Yeah. I mean, we offer our seats in the bus. We help women to step down from the bus, or we open door for them. And if it's raining and there are big ponds of water on the ground, we carry them on our hands, etc. Again, I guess you understand the idea.
Yes.
It might be strange for some women who come here from different countries because maybe it's not. It doesn't happen in their countries. And also, I'd like to say that we don't smile a lot, and it's not because we are unhappy. It doesn't mean that we are unhappy. Just it means that we do it when we are happy and we want it to be sincere. It's not just a fake smile. No offense, but some people who live in Russia, they find that smile, which people in America use, they think it's fake. It's not sincere. It's not natural. They just smile because they have to, not because they want to. It's like, hey, hello, how are you? And just smile, usual smile. And Russia is a multicultural country. Around about 160 nationalities live here, so you can find Muslim communities. Yeah, since Russia is very small, and you know, the smallest country in the world.
It's hard to fit everybody in there, isn't it?
Yeah, and it has a long history, and people came here from different places, so you can find a lot of cultures. And since we are Orthodox, it's a branch of it. It had a huge impact on our culture. you can see churches and cathedrals and people religious. What else? Yeah, I guess
Alright.
that's it. That's about it.
That's very interesting. I'm really enjoying listening to the things that you've chosen to talk about, guys, about your countries. Thank you, Dennis. That was really fascinating. I want to hear what Andre has to say about Russia now. So, Andre, off you go. You've got 3 minutes as well.
It's interesting. Dennis had a description of Russia. I agree with that. He chose to describe people in Russia, and maybe I can tell that Russia has. I wanted to tell that it is multicultural and has, of course, diverse customs in every region of Russia. And I think Dennis already said that in Russia there is about 160 ethnic groups live in Russia, speaking 100 languages. So you can imagine how huge the cultural diversity. So I think Russia has a rich cultural heritage, right? It's we can say that rich poetry and literature, poetry such as Pushkin, Yesenin, Chekhov, and as well as folklore, such as Russian folk tales and fairy tales, and so on. Such we have also very good traditions in theater arts and ballet as well.
Very famous, yes.
Yeah, and very famous, yeah. And as well, I want to say about churches and cathedrals. For example, we have Golden Ring of Russia is actually the ring of cities nearest of Moscow. It's actually these cities played a significant role in formation of the church, Russian Orthodox Church, and in these cities you can see very beautiful churches and cathedrals and many other monuments. So I think it's worth mentioning. So many tourists visit these places when going to Russia. So.
All right, thank you, fellow Russians. That was really interesting. If you have any questions for Andre or Dennis, type them to the chat box. Thanks, guys. All right, we're going to go on to Christian. Are you ready, Christian?
Yeah.
Off you go. 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the Colombian culture.
Great.
So, one of you might know Colombia is located in the north part of South America. And it was some time ago a Spanish colony. Originally, Colombia was inhabited by indigenous groups, a lot of groups, but their culture were smashed by the Spaniards' colonialism, and now we are a country with a lot inherited from Spain. Spain is the Spanish is the major language talked in Colombia. If you come to Colombia, you will not find anyone who talks English. It's really hard. Maybe in the big cities, but in the countryside or something like that, you will not find someone talking English. You will have to talk in Spanish. Some little groups talk in their indigenous language, but it's not very common. And Colombia is divided in some regions. In the Caribbean region, the Andes region, and the Plains region, and the Amazonic region. The Caribbean region people is now because they are very extrovert. They are very loud and listen to loud music, like to party all the time, drink alcohol, get wasted. And the people from the center of the country, the Andes, are more quiet, more polite, and maybe more bored. I don't know.
Not boring.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's talk about music. Maybe the more known artist or musician, Colombian musician in the world is Shakira. But here in Colombia, we don't listen a lot to that type of music. The people listen more like a kind of music that is called vallenato. It's from the coast, and also cumbia and Mexican music also. Mariachi is very famous in Colombia.
All right. Thank you. I learned so much from that short little presentation. Thank you, Christian. If anyone has questions about Colombia, go and ask Christian in the chat box. Ahmed, it's your turn to talk about Saudi Arabia. So you've got 3 minutes to tell us all about it.
Okay, here we go. In Saudi Arabia, our capital is Riyadh. All of the Saudi citizens speak Arabic, and all of them Muslim. The Saudi people love cinema, they love music, they like movies, and our national flag is green, and we have a lot of traditions here. I will talk about the food. We have a lot of kind of dishes here, especially kabsa. We call it kabsa. It's rice with meat, or rice with chicken. It's pretty famous. And also, if you have a guest, you have to make for him a special meal. That's traditional, and you need to it's required to sheep or goat or camel be sacrificed. And I will talk about the wedding here in Saudi Arabia. We have something called, it's in Islam, we call it mahar. Mahar, that means you have to pay for the father of your girlfriend. You have to pay money for him. It's like $10,000 or something like that for accepting the wedding. And every year we receive around 2 million of Muslims in the end of a year of in the last month of the year, Arabic calendar. We receive about around 2 million of pilgrims al-Hujjaj to Mecca, and we have our music, as I said before. Saudi people love so much music, and they love cinema, and they watch movies. That's all.
All right. Wow, Ahmed, thank you. I think one of the most fascinating things about Saudi must be the receiving all those visitors for the Hajj, excuse my pronunciation, because it's so important to your religion, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, thank you. If anyone has any questions about Saudi Arabia, ask Ahmed. I'm going to go to Juan. Juan, are you there? All right. I think Juan may have left us. So, Julio, it's up to you to speak for 3 minutes and tell us all about Mexican culture.
Hello, you guys. Well, I want to speak about the Mexican stereotype, and
Okay, good.
I'm gonna use Google Images to
All right.
use
So
kind of
you
use
can...
it as a prompt.
Sure.
Well, Mexicans, yes, we do like huge sombreros. Okay. we do not wear them all the time. Actually, I have never worn one of those in my life, except when I go to a soccer game. Sometimes when the Mexican soccer team plays, it's very
Mhm.
common to see everybody wearing these sombreros because we believe that is typical of our culture. Um, yes, we eat a lot of tacos, and every Mexican has eaten uh, at least 1,000 tacos because they are delicious and but they are different. I don't know if you had tried a taco before. Probably you are used to taste the Taco Bell tacos, which have like a fried tortilla,
Mhm.
this kind of crunchy and crisp. But
Mhm.
the Mexican taco, the tortilla, it's different. It is soft. Yes, and we eat all sort of tacos. We eat it with beef, pork, chicken, and even seafood.
What?
Uh, Seafood, yeah, it's not that common, but people do like fish taco every once in a while. Um, what else? Yes, a lot of Mexicans look like these guys over here, with the thick
Julio, we
mustache.
can't see your screen. Can you share your screen with us?
Sure. Okay.
You have to
Well,
click on that green button which says share screen, screen share, and then we'll see the photos that you're showing because we
okay.
haven't seen any yet.
Sorry.
No worries.
Let me see if I can do it this time. Share my screen. Well, maybe there's a problem with my connection because it says your screen is being shared
Ah,
and
but we
you can
can't
see it.
see it. Have you
Yeah,
chosen
that's
the
a shame.
correct window?
Um, okay, let me try again. Hangouts plus Opera. Can you see it now?
Uh, no. Oh, yes, we can. Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
All
So
right. That was
here
definitely
you
not
can
the way.
see the typical Mexican male, brown skin, hairy arms, and thick mustache. Yes,
Mhm.
most of Mexicans look like this. Not all of them, of course, because many Europeans came to Mexico, like people from France and Spain, and we got a lot of white people over here.
Mhm.
I think I have seen um, a red-headed guy like twice in my life, so they are not common. And people with blue or green eyes, they are considered to be very handsome among the
Ah.
Mexicans. Yes, because all of us have black, dark eyes.
Mhm.
Yes, we can see a picture here of a Mexican sleeping on a hammock.
Yes.
And yes, they are very common here. It is believed that these hammocks were popular because um, there in the desert or in the countryside, there are many poisonous animals,
Mhm.
and you would just get your hammock and sleep on it, and then you will feel secure of not having any poisonous animal walking around your face while you're sleeping. But,
Oh.
but nowadays, it is just it's very common to have them at home, even though we don't sleep on them.
Mhm.
But children love them,
Mhm.
because they can swing and they use it like a swing.
Mhm.
So they are very popular among children. We do not wear these kind of, like these clothes. People that work in the countryside, they do wear them and they do use hats every day because they work, and the sun, it's very strong. It can get you sunburns all over your face. But I'm very proud of my stereotype, and I embrace it. And every time I can, I tell everybody that we don't know cars. We only ride donkeys, and we drink tequila all the time. And our chilies are the strongest in the world, even though none of that is true. And not all Mexicans eat chili. Actually, I don't like it. I do love ketchup. And yes, there are there are many cactuses in Mexico, but we usually don't sleep leaning on them.
Thank you, Julio. That was very insightful and very entertaining. All right, this has been a fascinating class, I must say. Juan, I'm just going to give you one more chance. Are you there? Otherwise, we're going to have to leave it. No, it seems like he is, but I don't think he is. Maybe his connection's timed out or something. All right, guys. So we've got like a couple more minutes. I just want to open the class to some questions now. Does anybody have any questions for anybody else, or just want to ask something more about one of the cultures that we've talked about?
I do have a question for my friend from Japan. I want to know if Japanese, anime drawers, if they are wealthy in Japan, or if it's a well-paid job.
Interesting question.
You mean the job as an anime artist would be paid enough? Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It is very. There are many very poor manga writers, manga painters in Japan. They. I think most of anime manga writers are poor, but if they are succeed in publishing their works with many prints, so it would be a very big money they can get. So, and also there are if it were manga, it would be many books. How to say? So it would be a series, yeah. So one manga story have on average 20 books or 30 books.
Wow, per series. So a series of books.
Yes, series. How to say it? Yes. So not one book. It lasts long. So you can. It means you can buy many books. So famous Japanese manga, most famous Japanese manga series is what is One Piece. What print has been published? What the amount of prints is? It's 10 million copies. 10 million copies. Do you believe it?
Wow, that seems a huge number.
More than 10 million. More than 10 million prints. Yeah, not million, 10 million. So it often happens. So if you will be a famous manga writer, you will get a big money.
All right. Thank you, Yuki. So it's a bit of a gamble by the sounds of it, Julio.
Okay.
Do you want to be a manga writer?
I was just going to ask him the same thing. He's considering a career change, Yuki. Are you considering a career change, Julio?
No, they are very, some mangas and animes are very popular in Mexico. That's what I thought, that maybe they were like superstars in Japan.
All right, guys. I'm going to give you a Facebook challenge. If you haven't been to my Facebook page before, go there. And if you have, go there again. I just want you to type your culture and write one sentence about it, so that we can have a memory of this class for something to read back upon. If you have time, go ahead, check out my Facebook page, and I will set up a little conversation so that you can write one sentence about your culture. But thanks all of you for describing your cultures to us and sharing all that interesting stuff with us this morning. It's been great having you in class. Hope you have a great evening or a great day. Take care and see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.